You got to say it and say it, forcefully or whatever, but you can't.
Right. You know what I like to say, Mike?
What do you like to say?
I like to say that on Monday nights, on places like YouTube and all around the world, there's reasons satellites were invented. And I think they were invented for guys like you to be able to host comedy shows starring some of the greatest comedians working the Zoom comedy scene on Monday nights. And if you've had a bowl full of hyperbole, it's time to meet your host. Please welcome Mike Langworthy, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Langworthy,
Hey, thanks
host
very
of Open
much.
Mic Comedy Show.
Appreciate it. Oh yeah, of course you can.
Feel free to start the show, friend.
I know. First of all, it's not 8:00, so I feel like
I started 2 minutes early. Look at me.
Yeah, but you go to your job and you just jump right in the minute you get there. You don't get coffee. You don't do anything. Come on.
Right, no, get some coffee if you'd like. I've got some. Warm up. Warm up.
Well, I don't drink coffee.
We could, I'll see if we have some free T-shirts to give away to the crowd. I'll warm them up too.
No, and I don't care, man. I don't care.
Right.
Get it?
I think you have feelings and that you do care, and that nice people out there.
That's my dirty little secret, that I actually do have feelings.
To laugh hysterically. Do you have any leftover jokes from last night? Was that a real promise? Are you?
I do have leftover
on Shakespeare and porn titles.
I had one that was it was a formulaic bit that was.
I set it up.
It was a rule of three. It was a rule of three bit, but the third one in the rule of three, we had a paying customer in the house, and I couldn't make myself do it. But these are all comics, right?
Right. I think
our paying customer tonight is somebody I actually know personally.
I'm going to invite the YouTube people to lean in and listen.
Yeah.
Here comes a solid triple.
No,
Lead off hitter.
No, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and nobody's going to think it's funny but me. But I think it's hilarious.
Fuck them if they don't think it's funny.
So it's Coriolanus, Corio's anus, and coring your anus, and then the third one was. I was gonna build it all up and say, and everybody say the last one with me. You all know what it is, and the third one is a glass rod up your urethra and then hit with a hammer. And then we had a paying customer, and I was like, I don't have a line personally.
Right. We have
my line does not exist.
We have a paying customer
tonight. Line, and I live up here. You understand? I live in a little gas bag airship where I can't even see the ground from where I am. However, I do realize that there are other people who have feelings. It'd be like, just my luck that our paying customer last night was, okay, kids, come on. I want the whole kindergarten class to come in. This is where we do, this is known as pornography, children. And I come in with my glass rod joke. But here's the thing. When I actually was in kindergarten, and this to this day, this is probably one of my top 5 memories for personal and for comic purposes. If you remember how regimented everything is when you're in kindergarten, like it's always find a partner, hold hands, go to the all-purpose room or the gym or whatever they use for the gatherings, and sit Indian style, we used to say, cross-legged today. Why? So we don't get canceled. And so there was going to be a film about China, and our teacher built it up. The sweetest teacher in the world. So built it up. This is going to be really good, kids. We're going to go and going to see a travelogue about China, which is one of the most interesting countries in the world. Did you know it's on the other side of the earth? Directly on the other side of the earth from America? No, Miss Dorma, we didn't know. We all go down there, we sit down, they run the movie. It's a movie about the rape of Nanking.
Jeez.
So we're sitting there, At the beginning of the movie, there's all this ominous music. There's all this ominous music of, the Japanese coming in. And you see Japanese soldiers going, "Banzai, banzai." And then and I guess the teacher said, well, maybe it gets better or something. The next thing you see is a bunch. I'm sorry, this is demonstrating the whole line, and then me up here. This is where I live. I'm 5 years old, sitting Indian style, and and the next thing you see after the banzai, banzai, oh, they're being victorious. Look how happy they are, children. And the next thing is a bunch of Japanese soldiers tamping down the earth on a mass grave.
No.
A mass grave, and not everybody in the grave is dead, and you can see that they're not dead because there's hands coming up out of the earth.
What an odd training video.
And Miss Dorma goes, okay, children, everyone up, grab your partners. Then we went back to our room. And I'm like, I want to see how this ends. Even then, I wasn't the same as the other children. But Chuck.
Let's do that to some new comics. We have quite the lineup. I don't know if you want to.
And you know what?
Some of your favorite audience members have joined. So, if you have jokes, I don't mean to be interrupting your whole act with.
No, this wasn't my act. It's just a story I decided to tell. Excuse me for opening up a little bit.
No, I'm so glad.
Yeah, I like the support that I got after all of the time you've told me that I have no feelings or no personality. Then suddenly I show a little, and it's let's just go on with the show. Okay, fine. Here's a guy. We're gonna bring Jessica up in just a minute.
Okay. I think that is such a good idea. I might have other. Well, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting again. Back to you. Very important.
Jessica was going to be our first act tonight, and then we had a little chat just before the show started, and you let me know that.
Right. She is currently on a train to Wasgunna, a small little town.
That's right next to Henway, right?
Yeah. I wasn't quite sure if you had a plan, and you were in such a great little rant.
No, I'm done with the rant. No, it wasn't even a rant. It was just a little discussion.
Right. Don't correct me. It was great.
It was.
But
here's the thing.
I selected somebody else to start the show, or not start the show, because you're on fire, off to a great start. But I selected a different comedian to go first.
I know you mean that.
And no, I can. We're about to bring in engine number 4 and put this thing out. Because you are the fuego de fuego. But I
bring the hook or ladder.
And I want Jessica to go when you're ready to introduce her, but I had already.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you say that name?
So let me ask you to introduce Neil Decosta. But
Neil.
Without giving away that it's Neil Decosta, I was just wondering if you could.
Oh, you were just going to let him.
Yeah, because a good introduction.
We're just chatting now.
Yeah, a good introduction. You're generally not saying the person's name, but I needed to get that.
At the very end, because you do say their name just before they come on. So anyway, Neil Decosta is our first performer, apparently.
He's a great comedian to start the show with.
Good to see him again, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Neil.
Hey, hi, man.
Knock him dead, sweetie.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Neil Decosta.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much. Hi guys. Hi. My name is Neil Decosta. I'm from India, and I'm not here to steal your jobs. I'm also Catholic, so 70% of my body is wine.
Okay.
and I'm a chemical engineering student, so I can actually turn water into wine.
Oh.
As a chemical engineering student, I am interested in everyone who's associated with the field of chemistry, except of course alchemists. I hate alchemists. They are professional gold diggers. Don't want to be associated. But as a Catholic, there's this period of Lent going on. It's a period of abstinence, and I think that's what makes Catholics the most generous people in this world, because we have Lent for 40 days, but we have never borrowed. I think we as humans have been against the concept of nepotism from the earliest of times. Like even Jesus was crucified just because he was the son of God.
He earned it. He earned it, God.
You guys know the story of Adam and Eve? Yeah, the first human beings on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Adam was the first one. Eve came after, which is one of the reasons why I do not believe in the story. Because it says Adam, it says Adam came first, but always Eve comes before. They got the technicality of it wrong. Adam and Eve, yeah, like Eve was punished just because she ate a forbidden apple. She ate a forbidden apple, and God punished entire humanity for it. Like just one apple, and God punished entire humanity, which at that point only consisted of Adam and Eve. Uh, Adam and Eve had two children, Cain and Abel, both boys. So how did they reproduce further? How can you say they were the first human beings? They're two boys. How did they reproduce further? Like Christianity does not even believe in homosexuality or adultery or incest. So there is no logical explanation, except whenever Cain and Abel got into this nasty sibling fight and said really mean stuff about their mom, they probably did it. That's the only explanation. A lot of times I do such jokes on religion, and a lot of friends of mine, they tell me that I should avoid doing jokes on religion. But I think it's okay to do jokes on religion because religion is the one thing that's truly universal. I can't think of anything else that's as universal as religion, except maybe Pitbull. He's Mr. Worldwide, but otherwise, I don't know. Pitbull reminds me of my favorite singer. His name is Enrique Iglesias. Yeah, he's my favorite singer. Everything about him is great. His great songs, great performances, but lyrics, they're not that great. Like he has everything in a song that a perfect song should have, except consent. Like the lyrics to one of his songs go, "Please excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but tonight I'm fucking you." I'm like, if you don't mean to be rude, the least you could have done is ask, you know. Uh, 2020 was such a horrible year. I just want to clarify there's no COVID joke coming. I've not written a COVID joke because my audience is not large enough to be affected by it. So I skipped that part. I've not, yeah. But 2020, it began with the death of Kobe Bryant, yeah, basketball legend. Kobe Bryant, he had a reputation of not passing the ball. Like even if there were five defenders on him, he would take that shot and he would make it. He was that great, and which is why his death was a huge shock to the entire world. Like when he got into that helicopter, nobody had expected him to pass. A lot of people mourned his death after. A lot of people mourned his death, but a few did not because he had accusations of sexual assault. But these were only accusations. We don't know if it's true or not. But what we do know is if these accusations were true, Kobe Bryant definitely did not have an STD. Because if he had an STD, that would be one thing that he would pass. SCD reminds me of Freddie Mercury. I mean, he's another legend, but can you imagine? Can you imagine writing a song called Don't Stop Me Now and then getting stopped by eight?
Flag on the play. Great joke.
I'll end it with this last joke here. Do you guys know who invented the light bulb? Yes.
No, oh yeah, Thomas Edison.
Yeah, it was Thomas Edison. But did you know that Thomas Edison was also dyslexic?
No.
So Edison, he invented the light bulb and he was also dyslexic. Which makes me think that maybe he wasn't dyslexic enough. Because if he was dyslexic enough, then he would have invented the tube light.
The what? Say that again.
Oh, if he was dyslexic enough, he would have invented the tube light.
Now I get it.
Okay, thank you so much. That has been my time. Please
Thanks.
give it up for your wonderful.
I asked you to repeat that because I couldn't hear it on the thing. Neil Decosta, everybody, come on.
Yeah.
Let them hear it. So in the meantime, want to get right to Jessica now, who's
Mike,
yes.
I support all your decisions.
Do you?
Yeah, enthusiastically, holistically, way behind you. Loved what you said in the chat when you mentioned that Cesar Sauceda would be next. So I know you want to get right to Jessica, but
yeah, right now we gotta there's other things.
It's time for the big time.
Okay, well then we're gonna have to go with him. But I gotta tell everybody before we move on. I forgot to tell Neil, but he managed his time very well anyway. That these are 5-minute spots. At 4, this little beeper that you may have heard goes off, and you got a minute to wrap up. Don't make me come out there, and because I don't want to get Freddie Mercury's disease. At any rate, our next performer, I guess, is going to be Cesar Sauceda. Cesar, please.
What's up, everybody?
What is
hey, so
Cesar?
yeah, Mike, do you have anything to say to me?
No, not right now. Just
okay. Thanks.
No problem.
All right then. Are you gonna talk, or can I just go?
No, I'm done. It's up to you, Cesar. It's all yours.
Okay. So I'm starting to grow up now. And I'm noticing that these small indicators of me growing up, one of which is whenever I walk past a park, now a mom has to hold her child when I walk by, and that's kind of weird. I feel like a weird guy. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like people would recognize me in the streets and say, hey, I kind of don't want you around. And I'm like, dude, that's literally my dad. Okay, yeah, it's like father-son timing. But I am starting to drive now. It's weird, because when I'm taking the exams, I'm finding out that there's a lot of signs, dude. Like, come on. Can we just use common sense? Like, let's just put out signs that says, drive in the right lane. You're in America. Don't hit pedestrians and pay your taxes because we don't want the Chinese to do this for us, Anyway, my neighborhood's starting to build a lot more houses, and I'm starting to forget what nature looks like now. That's weird, right? Like a few bushes in a park can be like, hey man, Natural Geographic should do something about that. That looks beautiful. I love that butterfly that's about to be eaten by a bird. Wow, great. Yeah. It's weird because now I'm finding out that squirrels still exist. It's weird, like, yeah, like whenever I go to trails now, that's the only nature I get for now. Like, whenever I go to trails, I see a woman say like, "Look, honey, it's a tree. It's so beautiful. It's like what we saw last night, right? I'm gonna go get some water. Here's a water fountain. It's so beautiful. It's so nature. It's all just, it's like, why is there a water fountain in the trails? Isn't this supposed to be a ravine, something like that? No. Okay. I was, doing some laundry the other week, and I found out that it's actually a locker room dressed in disguise as a laundry mat. It's really weird because I saw some guy change right next to me, and I was like, dude, where's coach? He has to put me in the lineup now. Like, oh my God. I actually had to slap his behind and get fired up, but no one else was. So I was kind of confused. I was placed in a difficult situation. And the more weird part about this was that I had a conversation with them about socks. That was kind of weird. I didn't know what to do. So I was just like, hey, man, please stop touching me. Oh my God. Yeah. But my mom left me. Hey, let's go. Yeah, that's great. It's amazing because now I don't have to wait for her while she's calling her friends for like 3 hours straight. It's amazing, It's always like, Mommy, my sister got hit in the playground. What should I do? I was like, I'm talking to my friend. I was like, what? So am I supposed to be a medic here while you're just talking about shoes, dude? What am I supposed to do, man? Like, what am I? But now I'm starting to realize that whenever she's having a phone call now, she's going to be talking about me. Divorce, baby. Thank God about this pandemic, man. Literally, because now I feel like there's a balance in how depressed introverts are with extroverts. It's just like now in the hallways, there's no hallways. It's just people being like, why can't people talk to me in real life? I really miss that. I was like, dude, honestly, when we were placed in a situation where we had to interact with people, that kind of made us depressed. So I think we're having our own equality here, and I think it's beautiful in America. I think that's all, and have a good one.
Thank you, Cesar. Let's have a hand for Cesar as he grows up right before our very
I'm a big kid now.
He's a great kid, and he's not as great as Jessica, who's our next performer.
Right, you're right that he is not as great as Jessica, who's a kind and forgiving spirit.
What are you saying?
Folks tune in every week for Jessica. She's wicked funny. Spot on. She clobbers you. She clobbers the fuck out of you, and it makes me laugh every week. We mentioned in the chat that Bruce was next, so perhaps you want to go down that road.
Well,
thanks to all the people watching live.
Right. Just this once, I'm going to let the tail wag the dog, which I believe is a sex position for you, isn't it, Chuck?
Hello.
And I'm going to bring up Bruce Lipsky, who comes to us from Long Island, and so we've got people from all over the country tonight, and I'm really looking forward to some of them who are, say, in the Midwest, say maybe Illinois. But in the meantime, let's listen to Bruce Lipsky, please. Bruce Lipsky, come on.
Hey.
Thank you. Who's this Jessica everybody's talking about? Am I losing my mind? I called my wife Jessica the other day. It's getting really bad after a while.
I hope it took you as long to bring her up as it is us.
Well, let me tell you. But Cesar, I wasn't going to talk about this, but Cesar started talking about locker rooms and things like that. And it reminded me of a story when I was in high school. In my high school, in Bayside High, city school, public school, back in the early 70s, we had to take swim class. And if Jessica's listening to this is actually a true story. you know, when I got to the swim class, normally you get your uniforms like the gym, you know, Cesar, you can probably say this, they give you a shirt and shorts. So I was expecting a Speedo. So I went up to the teacher, I said, where's my Speedo? He looked at me and said, Speed, no. He says, your birthday suit is your bathing suit.
Oh, no.
I said, I hope wood shop is not run this way.
Hey,
But this is true. Imagine 14 years old having to do forced skinny dipping among all your classmates. At that age, I barely had eyebrows. So I'm in the class there. Yeah, no. I have that TV show on now called Naked and Afraid. I think I was doing the pilot for that because I was really naked and very afraid. Let me tell you. But during the class, we played water polo. And the teacher would yell, hey, Lipsky, protect your nets, protect your nets. I'd be off in the corner of the pool saying, the hell with that, I'm trying to protect my nuts. But the good thing about this class, I became an excellent one-handed swimmer. And in competitions, I always held my own. But the neat thing about this, it actually gave me confidence with the ladies, especially when I perfected the breaststroke behind the bleachers with Jessica Schwartz. That's where Jessica comes in. Now I remember. It's a long-term memory issue. You know, speaking of memory issues, my father's having a problem these days. I had to take him to the doctor. He's convinced that stand-up MRI is a comedy club. So I had to take him to the hospital. So we're in the elevator, and this technician wheels in this machine with all these tubes and hoses. And my dad looks at him and says, Mister, you're not going to hook me up to that machine today, are you? The guy looked back and said, I hope not. It's a carpet cleaner. Well, afterwards, I took him to that favorite restaurant, Friendly's, which is kind of a misnomer because there's nothing friendly about my parents when they go out to eat. At best, they're lukewarm. So we're sitting down, and my mother calls over the manager. She says, Mister, it's bad enough my eggs are running and my toast is burnt. And how come you don't serve coffee in those nice brown Friendly mugs anymore? The guy looked at it and said, we stopped because people kept on stealing them. My mother looked back and said, oh, it's too bad. I only needed one more to complete my set. Now I have a mother with a mugshot for being a mug thief. And it's hard getting old. You know, I'm starting to turn into my parents. I just turned 65. I look like a rusted old Buick. The rear end is making funny sounds. My hoses are leaking. My ball joints have all dried up. If Jessica's listening, she's probably around 30 years old or so. Just think, in 20 years from now, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to look like a rusted old Prius. But in my house, if I used to have a leak, I call a plumber. Now I call my urologist, and he's $50 cheaper. Back in the 70s, I'd get on the disco dance floor at Studio 54. I'd meet a woman. Hey, Jessica, you want to go bust a move? Normally she said no. But I tell you, those are the good old days. Now I can't take my wife dancing. I may bust a hip. I'm starting to forget things. I swear my phone mattress has a better memory than I do. I'm at the stage in my life where I change the battery to my nose hair trimmer more often than I do my TV remote.
hello.
And I've been watching a lot of TV during COVID. And one final thing, now that I'm 65, you got to stay in shape. Get into exercise. But I only exercise late at night, very late at night, between the hours of 3 and 5 in the morning. I run sprints from the bedroom to the bathroom. And the good news is I got my time down under 6 seconds. But unfortunately, I only can hold my pee for 4.2.
Oh, no.
Thank you. That's my time. My name is Bruce Lipsky.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. I know what you've all been waiting for.
My God, I think we should point out Bruce's showmanship. The big salute at the end. Every performance,
Yeah.
he plays the whole crowd. And, for new tykes like Cesar and such, y'all should,
You should
learn
work
that
with
lesson.
him.
Big finish.
He works for everybody, and
Right.
that's the amazing thing. And that's why
Sorry to interrupt what you're doing.
Jessica probably learned that from him, and that's why she is going to knock the roof off of this place right about now.
Right. She totally. And I should point out, Mike, Bruce wasn't sure about who Jessica is, and she's headlining in an upcoming episode of the Apocalypse comedy show. That's you get only that much of a tease of who Jessica is.
So this coming up right now should be just a little taste of that. Am I right?
Right. And by coming up, I think you're fun when you say that, because that show is going to be in May, and that's coming up just like Jessica's coming up right after, the funny comedian.
Another funny.
Well, it's a collection of great comedians from around the universe, really. And Nishy Acsell is here.
Love your spreadsheets, by the way.
Right. Some of the people out on the YouTube are chanting Nishy, and I think we got to give the folks what they're really begging for. So
okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's.
You'd mentioned you really wanted to respond.
Ignore my wishes again, because
right.
It's sort of like a little microcosm of my marriage. You know what? I love this woman, not in a creepy way, but she's very funny, and I like whenever she's on the show, and I hope she's on many, many more times. And Nishy Acsell. Nishy Acsell.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry I'm not Jessica, but I can call you Jessica. I mean, at this point, Jessica sounds like a myth, like my dad who went out for cigarettes 20 years ago. This is the place for me, I guess. You know what? I always get placed in the immigrant bucket, but listen, I don't want your job. I don't even want to work. That's not my style. I did 39.5 hours of labor. That is the closest I've ever been to a 40-hour work week. And I'm a comedian, so naturally what I hate most about my job is myself. And what I love about my job is that I thrive off of hating myself. So you guys must all love yourselves. What is this? I don't understand. So my husband wanted to name our baby, and I was like, wait a minute. So you're a white guy. You want to name something. What happened to the Native Americans? Are they really Indians? Let's not forget, like, your aunt's name is Broomhilda. What is that? I mean, Worcestershire sauce? No! I do not want you to name my baby. So we named her Samara, which is Hebrew for she wrecked my body. And I have the toughest job in the world, but some people are like, Mom, that's not a job. I'm like, you're right. I can't put in a 2 weeks notice. I don't get paid, and there's no manager to bone or get a promotion. So that was too real. Sorry. But I had a baby for the same reason that most millennials have kids, just to get one more Instagram follower. Just 1,000, that's it. So the other day I called IT to remind myself how much I hate my own people. And I get, hello, how may I help you? I'm like, I have a fraudulent charge. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot understand your accent. You can't understand my accent. What, excuse me. And then he's like, wait a minute. Nishy, it's me, your cousin. Oh my God. And then he hung up on me. So You know, they call my family fresh off the boat. Excuse me, but we flew here, so it's more like fresh off Boeing. And I have immigrant parents. When they hug, like they're so hairy, it's like Velcro sticking together. It's just, Did you guys have a good Valentine's Day? Because I did. I think this is the first Valentine's Day where people were afraid to catch something other than feelings. You know?
Hello. Hello.
And all of my exes hit me up in the same week because I changed my Netflix password. So I have advice for you guys. If you want to ever date a hot paramedic or fireman, your dating profile should say seeking medical attention. I'm out, dating is really, really hard for me because my husband is always home. Always.
Oh.
When we had our baby, my dad was like, "Oh my God, she has your eyes, your nose, your lips, and your husband's good looks." And then he told me on my wedding day that I was too dark for a white wedding dress. That is really racist. No, actually, you're a whore, is what I meant. All right, you guys have too much empathy for me. It's okay. Go. It's okay. My dad is always complaining about LA. He's like, the ground is shaking all the time. There is too many earthquakes here. And I still haven't told him that he has Parkinson's. Oh, thank you so much. I'm Nishy Acsell.
Yeah.
That's, boy, takes a real comic to be able to close on a Parkinson's joke. It could be 10 minutes of Michael J. Fox's act. At any rate, let's not get into that.
Bacon.
Because our next performer, Jessica, is she's from Chicago and she's been working.
Right, she is from Chicago. Evan is from here in Colorado. If you haven't met Evan yet.
So what you're saying is it's not Jessica.
What I'm trying to yes and here, and
No,
I'm saying
it's Jessica. So it's Jessica and somebody before her. Is that what you're?
that's a great way to join the team, Mike. That is the can-do spirit. We really like it from you.
A picture of Viola Spolin over my bed. And if you don't know,
look, sharp and clever is a great way to describe this next guest.
Yeah, that's true. Evan is both of those things.
You were wondering if I was saying that about you, weren't you, Mike?
No, I wasn't.
Right.
Yes, I was. Yes, and I thought maybe you weren't. So anyway, please bring on our next, or give a big round of applause. You know what? Fuck it. Listen, I felt like being articulate. I would be. Okay, that's a choice I made. All right. Please welcome Evan Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on, let him hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not a lot has been going on these past couple weeks. My friend showed me this app called Untapped. I don't know if anyone's used it, but use it to track your beers and you give them ratings, and it's pretty fun. It also kind of rewards you. Like if you have 10 different IPAs, it gives you a badge, or if you check in at 5 bars, it can give you some like coupons. But I also heard that during lockdown, when you checked in at a bar, it called the police. So I don't know. But I got a haircut a couple weeks ago, and it was kind of special because it was my first haircut with a new barber. I'd gone to my previous barber for about 5 years, so this was almost worse than a breakup. But I just hadn't been satisfied with the haircuts anymore, and we didn't really have anything to talk about. And well, also they went to jail, So that was a big part of it. Like, I'm a very loyal customer. I'll follow you if you change barbershops, and if you raise your prices, I'll still pay. But it's tough to get a haircut in a place that they don't allow scissors. They raised our rent a couple months ago, and my wife and I were debating if we should move. We took some tours of other apartments. We looked at a state, but eventually we did decide to stay. We really like our apartment, and our friend with the truck is immunocompromised. So it really wasn't the right time for us. But we got some new neighbors. I found that out. Found out they were moving in all day because my dog was barking all day. Haven't met them yet, but I do not have the best first impression. They put out a welcome mat, and welcoming people just seems irresponsible right now. Last year, I actually got COVID. I was very lucky. It was a very mild case, but I definitely don't want to get it again. And so while I'm waiting for the vaccine, I'm still socially distancing, wearing the mask, washing my hands. Turns out that some of my friends who have had it, that is not the case. And I found this out because on the day I got my diagnosis, my friends were planning a game night. And so I found out, and I called them and I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. We should push this back a few weeks. And their response was, no, you can come over. It's fine. We've already had it. And at this point, I don't know what it's going to take to get out of a game night. Having coronavirus was really my last Hail Mary attempt. I'm excited for this vaccine, and I think everyone should get it. I also think everyone should get the flu shot. I think that's very important. But I do like these people who think that the flu shot is part of some sort of government conspiracy, as if the government would trust my local Safeway with the handling of a conspiracy. Like, sure, every cart is broken every time I go in there, and they're always out of my Pamplemousse LaCroix, but these are the people that we can trust to distribute Bill Gates' tracking devices. All right, thank you, guys. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Evan. My wife, Carol, got her first COVID shot today.
Excellent.
She got the Pfizer, and because she's Jewish, I think, and she would rather go with the Pfizer than the Moderna. Better the Hebrew than the Italian, I guess. I don't get that. I don't understand how these things work. I guess.
Did you set the timer on your own bit?
The virus on Chuck. I'm sorry, Chuck. What?
I was just wondering if you set the timer on your own bit.
No, I set that timer for 1 hour. If I hadn't had a laugh 1 hour into the show, then I would have. I don't know what I would have done. I would have done something funny. Something Sybil Shepherd used to say all the time. She used to say, I'm just looking for the reality of the scene, and I think the reality of the scene is that I would say something really funny right now. Oh, by the way, I used to work incredibly successfully as a television writer, and one of the stars of one of the shows that I worked on was Sybil Shepherd. Oh yeah, Sybil Shepherd, who nobody's ever heard of. Paula, there is a note for you in a private chat that you could take a look at and let me know. But it's been a long time coming. But our next act, who hails from Chicago and is really, really a delight, is going to perform for us tonight. I keep stopping because I'm waiting for Chuck to interrupt me, because just assume. Anyway, so here's the thing. Jessica came to us not too long ago, and she was funny right out of the box, and she thinks outside the box too, and I like that. And anything to do with, she's like an expert on boxing, anything anything related to a box, Jessica is an expert on. A lot of people don't know that about her, but and I hope she doesn't try to keep it a secret. The truth of the matter is that any letter in the alphabet, any word in the alphabet that has the letter X in it is something Jessica can tell you a lot. And that's one of the reasons why she's an excellent comic. And she makes jokes about her ex. And right after she does her spot, her ex is going to peak. So please welcome, if you will, Chuck, last chance. Okay, please welcome, if you will, Jessica Misra, ladies and gentlemen.
Bam.
Normally I get a long introduction. This week, everyone got my introduction. Now you all know what it feels like to be like, am I up? No, I'm not up. Also, none of that is true. I've never had an ex-boyfriend. So,
Wow.
guys, I grew up a devout Catholic. So I saved myself for college. Here's the thing. I saved myself for college, and then I saved myself for spring break so I could do it at my house. I was like, I do want them to hear just a little bit. I love if I'm just a little muffled and uncomfortable. Guys, I learned that like spice is just paint on your tongue. It's not an actual like sensory thing, which I think is interesting. It's kind of like the only time like something bad happens with one of your senses and it's like considered a good thing, Like no one ever has tinnitus in their ear and they're like, I'm hearing good tonight. But you know what? It's like weird because like people love spice. Like people have a real hard on for spice. And I just realized that spice is just basically BDSM for your tongue, And it's crazy because like we never see BD or spice in BDSM. And I think it would really work there, It's always whips and chains and tie me up. It's never eat this jalapeno with all the seeds. You know what it is? I think they just want to see I think they want to see you red everywhere but your face. That doesn't do it for people. I used to be a waitress. I really got to give it up to waitresses because I think, no, seriously, I was horrible at it. It's like actually like really impressive when you're like good at it. Like people would ask me about my day and then I would actually tell them.
Oh,
I would take someone's order and I'd be like, how are you? I'd take the order. They'd be like, I'm good. How are you? And then I'd be like, I'm terrible. And then it would get awkward. And I'd be like, well, I guess I'll go get your fries. The next table's going to hear about this for sure. You know what? I don't know why I thought they'd care about my day. Normal people don't care about your day, Like you'll talk to your best friend and you'll be like, I'm good. They're like, what? Sorry, I already mentally checked out. My mom is white. She's like the pinnacle of white, like she orders Tex-Mex in a Mexican accent in English. That is the pinnacle of white. And I'm actually going to do a very offensive, what's it called? Act out of this. But just remember, you can't cancel me. This is my mom. Her name is Jane Mizrah. She lives in Ames, Iowa.
Word is impression, Jessica.
She'll literally be like, hello. And then she'll like try to like use like Spanish words that everybody knows. She'll be like, dos enchiladas, por favor. I mean, gracias. Gracias. And it's like, dude, I know you spent a summer in Brazil and you want to try out your Spanish, but those aren't the same language. So you need to get in here. They speak Portugal of Brazil. Portuguese. They speak Portuguese. Guys, this comedian was talking about feet. And I realized my family treats feet the way they treat gay people. They love them. Can't get enough of them. No, not just tolerance, pure acceptance. Is that too weird? We're kind of a foot family and it's kind of like our thing. I love feet. I think they're great. Some people hate them. Bring them on. I think that's like okay, forget that I'm headlining. I feel like this is a poor set for me to be like, hey, I'm gonna be headlining. Also, I love feet. I recently Maria Kondo'd my apartment. Anybody else missing stuff? Yeah. Yeah, I live in fear of what essential kitchen item I threw out because it doesn't bring me joy, you know? Like we had all these serrated knives and I was like, you know, these suck. And also I never make bread anyway. And then the pandemic hit and I was like, fuck. Here's what they don't tell you is, you know, when you're too cheap to replace your items, you need to hold on to your items. All right. Where's that chapter in the book? You know? I want a refund. It's like, you weren't ever going to buy better knives, Jessica. You can't throw away the knives you have. You know, I have one pair of shoes, and it's from Reebok. And I refuse to buy anything better. I think that's all I have. Oh, wait, you know what? Okay. You know, sometimes men, this is it. I'm going to end on this. Sometimes men will tell me to smile more. And when they do that, I just start crying and then they go back to ignoring me. I think we found a way to break the cycle. Nobody wants to see a crying woman. If a woman is crying on the bus, nobody's talking to her. All right.
Sure.
And I think as women, we're not harnessing this enough. All right. I cry on cue now. Anyway, so I just brought feminism back 10 years. Anyway, I'm Jessica Mizrah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Jessica. Jessica, it's crazy you got fired from that waiter job. You yeah, I mean, I could never be a waiter. I totally echo your thing because I could never, ever.
It's hard work.
Yeah, I'd be like, can I get you a drink? Because God forbid you should get off your fat ass and go.
What are you, my wife? Just kidding.
Yeah, what are you? Yeah, give me a drink. Honey. Why don't you just clink the ice, you asshole? Yeah. Would you like a burger? No, of course you don't want a burger. Why would you want a burger? You should get some salad. Trust me, you're about 3 burgers away from not being able to sit in a booth. You know what I mean? That's why my problem. That would be my problem. It's not my only problem, and I don't think it's not my place to tell you what all my problems are. That's not what this is for. So anyway, our next performer, Jessica Misra. She is
Mike.
What?
Love what you're doing. Big supporter.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
You're
trying to bring on an act.
all the rage on the YouTube, and what they say is, you know, guys like us, we put the fat in Zoom fatigue, but you've already introduced Jessica, so we're going to want to bring up another one of the fine
now. Is that what you're saying? You want me to bring somebody else up?
You know, Paula Maddox has been chomping at the bit for some stage time. There's Christopher Anthony, I believe, is up ahead. There's some talent, and Jessica was outstanding. Always welcome. She can even flop. Jessica, I know you mentioned my Boston accent. That was touching. It was popping out there. You could Buckner this show, and I would still be a fan.
And just one more thing about Jessica before we move on. And
you want me to explain the baseball joke to you, Mike?
I saw that play live. You son of a bitch. You asked. I was completely convinced that the Mets were going to win that series on that night. And a 21-year veteran who was a borderline all-star most of those years lets a ball run between his legs. So yeah, you don't have to explain the joke to me, okay? And
all right.
Jessica, get rid of the condo book. It doesn't bring you any joy. And our next performer has been very patient, especially during, apparently you did get Jessica's introduction. So please welcome, if you will, Paula Maddox, who just got kicked off the, oh no, there you are. Okay, there you go. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, how you guys doing? Just checking to make sure I can be heard, you know, because
Yes, you can be heard.
I'm needy. Hello. Well, thanks, boys, for giving me some time. I'm sorry if I looked like a fiend. I kind of felt like a fiend, you know, trying to get 5 minutes. God, it's so bad. But hey, let's give them a couple of my seconds to clap for them, you know, the clap they can tell their mom about. Well, thank you. You know, doing all the hard work. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys very much. It feeds the aforementioned addiction that I'm growing since the pandemic started. It's been great, let me tell you. Thank God it's just Zoom comedy. Could you imagine if I really went off the rails? God. And I'm native. I could go off the res and cause a fucking ruckus. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be good at all. Yeah. But I do feel like when I wait for these mics that I'm waiting for my dealer to pick up the phone. It just causes the same feelings when I used to call my weed dealer back in the day, you know? Yeah. I know there's a few people in this room probably know what a real dealer looks like, you know, not these fucking bud tenders you see down this dispensary. You know what I mean? God. Like, they don't get how hard it used to be. I mean, it was so hard for me to find weed back in the city that I married my connect. I did. I ain't gonna lie. Because I figure the dick I'm sucking for the weed is one that I know. You know, it's better than having a chick. You know? I'm pudgy, but we get action too. Who knew? Like, I thought the sexual harassment was just for the skinny, cute chicks. I didn't know it's for fat chicks too. Who knew? Oh, life has been interesting. It's been a fucking fun ride. I'm a parent, and I wish people could tell that just by looking at me. But trauma's too easy to hide, you know. So I gotta tell people how bad it fucking is, you know. Not cool, not cool. So I kind of like accidentally locked myself up on purpose, you know. Like, I wanted to get married and have kids and stuff, but Lordy, did I fucking miss the boat on that one? Fuck. It's okay. I'll be fine. For the ones who haven't procreated yet, I will tell you that there is a very good reason that pregnancy is not on the list of STDs. Very good reason. It's so that nature finds her fools faster. Yeah. Expediency. You know, get them while they're fucking spinning and you'll get more kids out of them, you know? It's so fucked up. It's so dumb, the whole situation, that it doesn't deserve the letter B anymore. You know? Just dumb. So fucking dumb. I also made another stupid decision young in my motherhood. I came out of the closet to my family and told them that I wasn't going to spank my kids. I was going to be enlightened parents, you know, new age. Yeah. My dad stands up, he comes and gives me a hug, and he says, well, if you take away the spank option, you need to know that it takes a very long time to raise the dumb out of kids, honey. What are you trying to say? Then my mom tisks in the corner, the fount of all knowledge. She says, why do you think the creator put that crack in your ass, baby? It's to absorb the blow from the spanks that you need. Right? But still, I digress. You know, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And I've almost been spanked. I have been bullied about it my whole motherhood. Whole fucking thing. The same vim and vigor as before, you know. No, but now the consequences of all those dumb actions are coming due. Like, my young adults say, Mom, why didn't you fix my tongue when I run it too much when I was little? Well, only a spank would fix that, honey. Not much I could do about that, you know. So I'll trick them, you know. I'll trap them. I'll tape them. Videotape, not packaging tape. So it would be fun just to set the fucking problem up. No, it'll be all right. I got a 1 in 6 chance of a good retirement. I'm heading there, you know. And with the laughs I get and the jokes I'm having nowadays, it's great. I got a new one for the class. Do you guys know what Cinderella said when she got to the balls?
No.
I think she said,
Automatics, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, you guys.
You should put that on your gag reel.
It's on something, Mike. Let me tell you.
Oh, well.
Appreciate you, though. Thank you very much.
I know you guys have been very, very patient, and so has Jessica. So let's, without further ado, let's get her just right up here to do her thing.
Right. I think that's such a good idea, Mike. Of all the ideas you've had tonight. Introducing Jessica has been one of my favorites. It's
Call the
just,
callback, Chuck.
oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
zing, 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 you.
And you know what? I think you're
Moon
probably
walks out of frame. Bear
Yep.
drops
You're
off.
about-
Oops.
You're about to tell me that that's not the right name. Is that correct?
Yeah, I fell for it hook, line, and shtick.
Stinker. Stinker. Well, then let's bring this other guy up then. Okay. You okay with that, Chuck?
Yes.
Oh, good, good. Sorry to wake you.
Well, no, many on the YouTube also way okay with this move.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. So Jeffrey Burden II is our next performer, and he was just on the Apocalypse last night, as a matter of fact, and he's a frequent performer here. He's no Jessica Mizrah, and that's a point of pride with him, and I respect you for that, Jeffrey. Please welcome Jeffrey Mizrah.
Yeah.
Burden II, ladies and gentlemen, straight from Toledo, Ohio, to your funny bones.
That's right. Thank you. Hi. Actually, everybody, I have something to tell you. I should come out with it. My name is Jessica Mizrah. I didn't want to make it awkward. But I thought I would just come out. No. Thank you, everybody. My name is Jeffrey. I am. Open mics are great, man. They're fantastic. Just, I went to an interesting one a while back. It was one of those all artists allowed to perform open mics, right? Poets, musicians, and there was this band here, and they were that screamo metal, this guy was really big dude jumping on the stage, and it was loud music. I'm like, I got to get out of here. The music was great. It was great. I just, I kind of wonder, where the writer for the band was inspired to make that sound. Like he had a roommate, like, you know what, dude, I know you're struggling with some creative issues, but I dated this bulimic, and when she threw up, it sounded like rock gold. And the band member was like, dude, you're brilliant. I'm totally putting it in my music. It's happening. It's going to happen. Well, we're working on that opening one, so there we go. All right, moving on, everybody. move.
Yeah.
Come on, move. It's this way.
Just trying to remember.
Come on. It has been brought to my attention, everybody, and I probably am doing it right now. But not one, not two, but three people brought this to my attention. And they're right. I watched myself. I use my arms a lot in these virtual open mics. They are 110% right. Okay. I do. I'm flailing around. I've got a lot of energy. It's true. I look like a Muppet at a Metallica concert, sometimes. It's all right. Yeah. My mother, she's suffering from Alzheimer's too. Oh, whoa. Too much. Back off. Everybody, I've been motivated. I think back, I was very motivated by, well, quite frankly, women, right? Growing up, my teenage, my 20s, even my 30s. I remember there was this one gal, I was so crazy about her. This is the honest to God truth. I enlisted to get her. I enlisted to get with her. Okay. I'm telling you the truth, right? I'm gonna put my arms behind my back, like I'm telling you the truth. I enlisted for her. Yeah. But it didn't work out, right? And then there was this one gal I met, right? Crazy about her too. And I was like in rock star mode. I was like, she's so hot. I gotta do some push-ups to bulk up, and it didn't work out. With my wife, I don't know. I didn't do that much shit to get her with her, it just kind of happened, I don't know. It's like the less was more for her. I don't get it. I was so motivated by those other two relationships, but with my wife, if she could just motivate me to work more than 6 months out of the year, I can't hold on to a job, people. I'm really struggling. Ugh. Wow. Listen, I mean this too, right? I do not deserve my wife, but it's a good thing if I own my car, because if she kicks me out of the house, I'll be sleeping in it a lot, you guys. I was taking a walk with my wife. She actually was raised with her mother and a stepfather. She didn't grow up with her biological father. My biological father-in-law. And I was just thinking, I didn't grow up with a father. I wonder if her real father thinks about me sometimes. I wonder if he thinks about the day we got married. I don't know. It's on my head, everybody. And my name's Jeffrey Burton II. You've all been lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's like you want to cheat on your father-in-law. That's like so weird. That is weird fucking shit, man.
I'm not perfect.
You're not. Wow. Okay, well. I think we have pretty much wrung the Jessica Mizrah misdirection dry tonight. We really have.
No way, Mike. I think
we keep saying that we're going to bring her on and we don't, and then it's like we make a big joke out of it. So I think we should just bring her up and let her do her set.
Super funny idea, Mike. But you had mentioned you wanted to do a silly photo. That worked out great before for promotional purposes.
Well, let's wait till after our last act and do that, shall we?
Okay, we'll do that after our last act. So stay tuned for that, everybody. And then
you want to do a funny photo this week? It's tongues out, ears up, whatever that means.
Tongues out, ears up. Got it.
Whatever that means to you. But first, this is a very patient guy and a driven man, and I'll tell you why. Because he must have got kicked off this fucking thing 10 times tonight. And every time I wanted to put him on the list, he wasn't in the room anymore. So now he's gonna be our headliner. I guess that's how you do it. You just keep having technical difficulties until the end of the show, and then you come on. So please welcome, if you will, Christopher Anthony. Christopher Anthony.
Yeah.
You guys all hear me?
Yes.
Beautiful. Here we go. COVID jokes galore.
All right.
I'm going to be honest. I went several months hardly ever leaving my house. Didn't really talk to my friends or my family. And then this coronavirus thing happened, and that just so crazy. And I think I understand what they mean when they say we're all in this together, because if my neighbor loses her job, I lose my internet. So, so rough. I don't know about you, I've been watching way too many movies, and you watch movies and movies feel old, because like none of the characters have cell phones. But now movies feel old because none of the characters have masks. Oh, you only watch V for Vendetta so many times. For a long time, the number one fear worldwide was public speaking. Now it's just public. And like most men, I broke my penis during COVID for sure. The thing with porn is you have to watch something more and more taboo, Every time it has to be something more and more forbidden. Now, if I'm honest, I can only get off if they hug. Oh, so crazy. By finding porn with.
No. No, Christopher.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
You're winking out.
Yeah.
You can't hear me?
Can hear you now.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Missed
I
the
just
last
do
joke.
this. I just do this so I get like 13 more minutes down to 4.
Okay.
So did you guys hear the porn joke, or do I need to rewind like a
No, we
substitute
heard
teacher?
we heard the porn joke. We didn't hear the next line after that.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to connect news articles. Like for instance, okay, in March, you know, they closed all the strip clubs, and then in August, there was an article is at an all-time low, especially amongst females. So as it turns out, those strippers were paying for school. So crazy. And then another article, they kept telling people, you know, in like late March, early April, said, get a pet, get a pet. And then in late May, they announced a meat shortage. So I just assumed, you know, I didn't have a dog when it mattered. I was really worried because my neighbor was coughing incessantly. So I thought they had really bad symptoms, but it turns out they just had really good weed, you know. Caring is caring, just pass, don't cough. All right. The last 4th of July, I live in New Orleans, okay? So the last 4th of July, every 4th of July and New Year's Eve, I love to play this fun game called Firework or Firearm. But last year, there was no guessing, just riots. People were saying that with COVID, you end up losing sometimes your sense of taste or your sense of smell. So I was worried. I checked in, spent a lot of time, and I got to tell you, after talking to 6 of my friends, most of them actually lost their sense of humor. Sweet Jesus, people laugh for a freaking second. Good God. I don't know what's more upsetting, how often telemarketers call my cell phone or how seldom anyone else does. Every time I think it's broken, someone in my dad reminds me my phone still works and that my non-existent vehicle's warranty needs to be renewed. Thank you so much. I'll be honest, going into this year, I told myself optimism is extremely important. I need to surround myself with people who see the brighter side of things. So now I find myself avoiding positive people. I only hang out with you if I know for a fact you're negative. So, I mean, I'll fuck whoever with a mask on, but if you want the mask off, I need results. Results. Been unemployed for far too long, and I saw these restaurants. I figured for sure I could get a job at a restaurant because 2 of the restaurants said they were short-staffed, and I'm only 5'7". I thought for sure I qualified. I got to tell you, you know, to all those businesses out there, look, if you're really going out of business, does it make sense to spend money on all of those signs? So frivolous. My goodness, that's how you got there in the first place. Sometimes I just go to Walgreens, be reminded what it's like for a woman to ask me for my phone number while she's checking me out. Are these are too many dad jokes. All right, look, I have 2 rowdy jokes. I didn't hear a bell, or maybe it happened when my neighbor's internet got shoddy. Just 2 more jokes. The first one is, I want you guys to know that I'm really bad at meth and spelling. My 2 worst subjects for sure.
I see what you did there.
I know that drugs ruin lives. I know, but sometimes they make people a little bit more enjoyable. My friend Susan, very, very boring. And she started doing meth. Now she's Susan on ice. You know what I mean? You just sing along. She moves, she skates, she does all that. That's fine. Susan on Ice. She's pretty incredible. And finally, is my last joke, because that was one joke. All right, here we go. I don't drink. Okay, I don't drink. And when I tell people I don't drink, they always assume that there's a story that either me or my mom or my dad had some horrible drinking problem. There's no story. You guys, again. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you heard that? Okay, oh my God. I don't drink.
Yes.
Every time I tell people that, they assume that there's a story that me, my mom, or my dad have some horrible drinking problem. There's no story. I just do not like the taste of alcohol. I also do not eat mayonnaise. But that's because my dad would beat the fuck out of me with a mayonnaise jar. So, you know. Alcohol, it's the flavor. Mayonnaise, it's the trauma, you know?
Yes. Yeah, that mayonnaise vodka that's going around right now.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah.
And here's hoping that your neighbor gets a better job, so that the internet connection improves.
Right, a little Wi-Fi repeater or something, you know.
Yeah, it would be lovely. Very funny though, I have to admit. And you know what is really funny about your firecracker or gunfire? What is it? I have a friend.
Firearm.
Yeah, firecracker or firearm. I have a friend. This is the God's honest truth. I have a friend who was walking across a parking lot on New Year's Eve one day, and all of a sudden it felt like somebody hit him with a punch, and he went down to his knee. And he now has a 45 slug lodged behind his heart. Because somebody was shooting guns up in the air to celebrate the new year, and a spent bullet came down and shot him in the chest. And it can't be removed because, by the way, I did not try to sell this as a joke, did I? Because it's not a joke, it's just a story. All right. Anyway, he does that. So he's got a bullet behind his heart. And wow, that, you know what? Note to self.
I'd love to see the happy endings you give with the massage.
No, I mean, look, I appreciate it. Look, say what you will about gun laws.
I give jobs with a hammer, so I'm really not that good at these happy endings.
So anyway, the show isn't called Family Warm Hour.
You know, you beg me to open up to people and show another side of me, and I do. And what do I get for it? Nothing. Nothing but people saying maybe you shouldn't talk about your friends who get shot.
Right. The problem with gun owners is that nobody of all the certifications and paperwork they have to file, none of them learn how gravity works because they all still think that those bullets go up in outer space and Superman comes by like 4 times a year to just scoop up all the metal. They don't get it.
Yeah. Well, my friend gets it because, you know, what I was going to say was if a bullet stuck. Did I make that clear before?
Yeah.
Anyway, never mind. Let's
He's still alive, so it's not quite a killer bit, Mike.
I like to call it comedy wounding.
He's biting the bullet now.
Yeah. I was going to say. All right. It's not as funny as you're making it look, Burden. All right. Anyway, so at the end of the show, we have a little habit, not like the one that Christopher was talking about. And now, of course, his picture is perfect. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We have a little habit of doing a funny photo on Gallery View, and so everybody who wants to participate, you can put your camera on, and then Chuck will tell you 1, 2, 3.
I think you should. You're on fire.
No, you should do.
Okay.
No, I have. I'm
ears up, tongues out. That's a good idea.
Tongues out, ears up, whatever that means to you.
Got it. 3, 2, 1. I was trying to get.
And that was like the Leave It a Beaver photo. You see that episode and Leave It a Beaver, and everybody's passing around saying, "All right, when they take the class photo, everybody go like this." And so nobody went like this except the beaver.
Yeah, that's interesting because one of Metallica's most famous songs is "Nothing Else Matters."
Oh my word!
That's hilarious for the 7 people still alive. That
I like it.
Thank you.
Right, right. I believe the peanut gallery just signaled approval for the joke.
The
So.
peanut gallery. Good. Thanks. It was.
Gee, Mr. Langworthy, you're very funny.
Yo, Bruce is on it today.
Right?
Oh, I mean, that's so great. That is so great because it's Eddie Haskell. You know what he did after the show, right?
Yeah. Policeman.
Yeah, he became
It was
LAPD.
What was it like to go to the tapings, Mike?
I wasn't old enough to go to the tapings. You incredible, cruel man. Although I have to say, what passed for a joke on that show, those guys must have been feeling like they were stealing money, because I remember there's one bit that they used to do to promo the show in reruns was, "What are you doing, Beav?" Because I'm putting my right sock on my left foot and my left sock on my right foot because there's a hole in my right sock. That's the joke. That's the promo for the joke. Don't expect all the jokes to knock you over like this one did.
Right.
At its peak, going to be pull your foot up. Beaver, put your foot on a lady's thumb. Those are the kind of jokes that made this. Hey.
Yeah, those are good. Next week we'll be discussing the Partridge Family. So.
I'm going to have to install a virtual sprinkler system for all this heat.
Maybe we are giving a little too much credit to people for having done their cultural literacy homework. But somewhere there must be an antenna station that still shows Leave It to Beaver. Yes, Christopher, this is every week. This is every week. And if you go on Eventbrite, there's a way to sign up for a spot on the show. I don't know how you did it this time, probably the same way.
All that information is in the YouTube description. Follow our link tree for links to tickets.
Yeah, and see, now you're moving around. You're very animated. Everything's great. It was like an oil painting doing jokes when you were actually on.
Well, his neighbor stopped watching television, so there's more bandwidth.
I'm like not even joking, guys. Her name is Anne. She's a physical therapist. She lives upstairs.
Oh, I know you're not joking. We have another act that just jumped off. Probably.
Paula
Maddox is using her neighbors.
Yeah, she said her neighbor started watching Downton Abbey, so she's got to go.
Yeah, so my neighbor's Anne. She lives upstairs. She's a physical therapist. Not even lying. This is her internet.
Yeah.
So
I believe.
Let's go to bed so I can actually get stuff done.
Let's all think good thoughts for Anne right now, right? She's a kind person.
Maybe she could get a job at a massage parlor. It's sort of the same skill, isn't it? You lay your hands on people and they leave feeling better.
She's 56.
I'm trying to think of what the modern day equivalent of Grapes of Wrath is. Like, it's people trying to get bandwidth.
We're at the peak. There's good
We've got grapes.
bandwidth in Oregon. Chicken fried
Roaming
steak and mashed potatoes.
Roaming the country for the roaming. Yeah.
Oh yeah, roaming the country.
Oh, hi, YouTube. Oh,
Sure.
Right. Thank you, Cesar. I was wondering. I'm sure the nice people watching on the YouTube are like, is this it? Because it seems like the jokes have petered out, but I have a feeling Mike is
This is
one more zinger for the big finale.
This is yeah, I wish I knew like a fast joke that is like really like sharp. But I'm more of a humorist. I say things that people go, yeah.
Well, it was so nice to have Dave Barry on the show tonight,
Right.
everybody.
Oh, you swine. You fucking